Hello everyone, welcome back to Journey with Shar. I come to you today. We're going to be making spaghetti and meatballs, and I'm going to cook it on the 2i electric burner. I'm going to be using it on the table so you all can see how I'm going to make these meatballs. Really simple ingredients, very easy, nothing fancy. We have 2 pounds of 80-22 pound grass-fed ground beef. We have the Johnsonville Italian sausage that I'm going to combine. Now, some people do add veal. I'm not doing that today, okay? We have some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese here. I'm going to grate about 1 cup of this to add to here. We also have some garlic. I like to grate my garlic so that all the oils can come together when I'm ready to add that to the sauce. And then I also have some onions here. I add onions to the sauce, but I also put onions in here as well. We also have the Italian breadcrumbs here, and that is about it. I'm gonna add some dry parsley. We also have some basil leaves here that I'm going to add to the sauce, okay? And we're using Rayo's marinara sauce, and we're using Banza spaghetti noodles. And what I'm going to do is put my Pioneer Woman Instapot up here. That's only to boil the noodles and to put the sauce and the noodles and the meatballs into, so that people can serve themselves right from the Instapot. It will keep it warm. All right, so if you want to see how I'm gonna make all this, you all stay tuned. And you may be saying, what is the bear up there for? Well, my family and I like a little bit of extra sweet in our spaghetti, okay? And I add a little bit of honey. So let's get these meatballs together. If you want to see more, stay tuned. All right, you all, so I'm going to just do 1 pound of beef and 1 pound of the pork. I'm going to show you how I season that. That's a little bit of garlic, salt. Then we have some onion powder, parsley here. I don't do all fancy smanchy with this in the inside. A little bit of parsley. Okay. And I'm just gonna let the meat, I'm gonna bring the 2 meats together, let them sit, and then I'm gonna add the rest of the ingredients because I want these flavors to come together. So we're gonna go ahead on and put that Johnson meat in, and we wanna take this and just really mix this together very well so all those flavors can come together. Because remember, we're going to combine the cheese and the breadcrumb to this, and then we're going to add in some eggs. The eggs is going to be what binds this all together. All right, so we're going to let that sit. It's got nice, put a little pepper in here too. I'm going to add some pepper. In the meanwhile, I'm going to be sauteing the onions here. Remember, I told you I was going to use the double I because it's all here together. So we're going to cut that on there. We're going to use some olive oil and a little bit of this Kerrygold. Let me show you what it looks like at the top. This is the Kerrygold butter. I absolutely love sauteing my veggies with this. So we're just going to add just a little bit of butter like so. Okay, and that's all the butter we need for today. And we're going to add the onions and let them get sauteed. Now, I love mushrooms. My family's real picky. Mommy will eat it. Joshua is real picky about having mushrooms in his spaghetti. So today we're not going to add the mushrooms, but I would add mushrooms to this as well. I love mushrooms. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let these saute just enough. We're not trying to get them where they're translucent, just so that they're softened. In the meantime, while this is going, I'm going to go ahead on and start grating the cheese. And we're going to add 1 cup of cheese to that mix and 1 cup of Progresso Italian breadcrumbs, okay? So you don't need to add Italian seasoning. You can add Italian seasoning if you want, but it is in the breadcrumbs, all right? So let's get started with that. Stay tuned. All right, you all, so we have some onions here. I'm gonna take the onion, we're gonna add the onions to the meat. We wanna do this before we add the eggs because we don't wanna curdle any curdled eggs in the meat. Okay, now we're gonna use the same pan to brown the meatballs. Let me get a new one. So we just want to mix that in the meat, make sure it's evenly distributed. Then we're gonna add the breadcrumbs. Now with this, if you want, you can add Worcestershire sauce. You can put a little bit of mustard in here. You can put ketchup in here if you want to. I'm just doing the traditional, just regular Rayo's recipe. I will put that down below for those of you who want to know. I will also put the link of another meatball sub that I did last year, and you can see that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is add 1 cup of breadcrumbs and cheese. Stay tuned. All right, y'all, now we're gonna add the cheese, and that is, remember, that is 1 cup of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, okay? Just a little bit, nicely incorporate it. Make sure all that cheese gets in there. This is gonna give it a nice flavor, the cheese does. My son hates cheese, but he loves this inside of the meatball. Isn't that funny? Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add 1 cup of breadcrumbs, okay? Just gonna mix that little by little. And 2 cups of water is gonna go in here as well. Just like to blend, make sure the breadcrumbs is equally blended before I add the water and the 2 eggs. Okay, we put the remainder. Let me get this mix in. Then I will show you me adding the water and the eggs. Stay tuned. All right, you all, so I like to mix my eggs up like that before I put them in. Just a nice little scramble. But before we do that, let's add some of this water. This is 2 cups of water. Add a little bit of egg at a time. Okay. Now you would use your hands. I cut my hand today, and I'm just real sensitive about
you got a bowl here,
making sure. All right. Now we're gonna add the remainder of the water. Some people use milk. You can use milk or water. It's up to you. Now, if you think this is too runny, you can add a little bit more breadcrumbs, okay? We just want to make sure this is all well incorporated. Now I'm going to show you, I'm cutting this on a little high, and this is olive oil that I have in here. We're going to let this get hot because we just want to brown the meatballs, okay? Now you could put a little bit of garlic just to flavor. I put a little bit of garlic in here just to flavor the oil, which is also good. It's got a little bit of onion in there. So yes, I'm going to add this garlic. Put some fresh garlic in there, y'all. Add that in there like so. I just like to mix it, make sure it's blended very well and mixed. Then I go in and really secure the mixture. We're gonna wait till this gets hot, and then I'll show you when I add them to the pan, so stay tuned. So you see that the oil is a little bubbly, and I have a little bit of water here, and I'm not even gonna measure tonight. Usually I do, but I'm not gonna measure. Make sure your hands are really clean. This is gonna help the meat not to stick. So I just grab a little bit and I just cup it in my hands, just like so. Just like so. Bring it around like that. And then I'm going to drop this in like that and let it get brown. I'm gonna show you a couple more. I'm in a hurry, y'all. And let me do 2 more, and then you guys get the drift. I'm gonna finish these all up, and as they're browning, I'll show you what they look like. But you just want to cup them, and then sometimes just rolling them like that. Make sure you don't burn your hand. You don't want to overcrowd the pan, but you want to put just enough in. Now I'm gonna finish these off in the oven just because I want to drain the fat, but you could put it directly in the sauce if you like, if that's not something that bothers you. All right, you all, at this time, you do want to make sure that you turn the fire down once it gets to the point to what you like, okay? So this is what it looks like, and I'm putting them on the parchment like that. I'm going to put them in the oven and let them cook for maybe about another 15-20 minutes, all right? Some of this is going to be for meatball sandwiches, and some of them are going to go into the spaghetti and meatballs. Stay tuned. We still have the bonza spaghetti. I'm going to put the sauce in the Instapot so that it can be cooking, and we'll be done, you all. So stay tuned. All right, you all. So in the meantime, we're just going to put this in the pot. Let this come together because this is going to help it stay warm. Put the Rayo sauce down in there. I like to rinse that, but right now I'm right here. I will be rinsing that. And I'm going to turn it on, but I do like to add in my beautiful basil, just for extra flavor. I am going to add extra onions to this. Okay, so we're going to add some extra onions and garlic. Turn this on, and then we're going to let this simmer. Okay, this is going to keep everything warm and nice, and people can, instead of going to the stove, they can go directly to the Instant Pot. All right, I'll show you that once I get started, how we're going to keep that warm, so stay tuned. All right, you all, so we're going to go ahead on and put these in the oven and let them finish off. All right, you all, so we have this. I have sauce in there. We're going to put it on saute, and that's all we want to do is just saute it, okay, because that's going to make the sauce nice. It's going to cook it, and it's going to come to a boil really quick, but that's fine. This is just sauce, and mommy is boiling the spaghetti right now. We're going to add the noodles in here, and then, y'all, we're going to finish this off with the meatballs. And honey, this is good to go. We are ready, okay, to eat. So it didn't have that much fat rendered, so I'm happy about that. We're gonna go ahead on. Mommy's gonna help me. I'm gonna stir, stir, stir. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna drop these delicious meatballs inside of this. You all, so what we like to do, my family also likes to have meat sauce, so with just a little bit of the meat, and this is the exact same as the meatballs. I will add a little sauce to this, and whoever wants to add meat sauce to the meatballs, they can do that, or even on the sandwich, okay? And I just want to show you all, this is how I do that. There we go. It looks beautiful. So I am going to add some extra sauce to this. You guys, it looks beautiful. Look at that meatball. Doesn't that look wonderful? So pretty. All right, you all, and we have a few more meatballs, maybe about 9 more meatballs to go in here, so it's gonna be a lot. All right, so we just pulled these out of the oven. That's a lot of meatballs. All right. Almost done. We're gonna soon be ready to eat here. All right, you all, and then we'll just take some of that and just do a little toss, and we are ready to eat. All right, you all, this is the garlic bread, and we're just gonna add a little bit more parsley, and I'm going to toast them. This is the garlic bread, it's done, as you can hear that. Okay, so Joshua just tasted it. How is that? All right, y'all, so I'm gonna plate me just a little bit. I'm gonna get one little meatball, and that just looks fantastic. Put a little bit more around, and this is my garlic bread. Now you can put some Parmigiano Reggiano cheese, but I want you all to see that is the meatball. You want to see, look at how that meatball breaks up. Y'all see that? That meatball just broke up like I give up. That's how I like my meatballs, okay? So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, this recipe is so good. Rail sauce is fantastic. Look at that onion. Josh, taste your sandwich and see if you like it. The garlic bread, you just dip that in there. You all fantastic. There we go. Spaghetti and meatballs. There's some meatballs there. Meatball there. We still have meatballs in here, you guys. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in to Journey with Shar. If this is your first time ever seeing my channel and you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the notification bell. Every time we upload a new video, it will alert you. You all can come and check me out and see what I'm doing. Thank you so much for tuning in. You all have a lovely week to come. Be blessed, and I'll see you soon. Remember, always trust God, keep Him first, and He'll always lead you in the right direction. Bon appetit. Bye-bye.